Next on deck with Tim Black.
Don't make a folk hero out of this cat. He assassinated a CEO going to a thing, and you got a problem?
Why does it matter he was a CEO? We don't give a damn what his job title is. How many people were shot, caught a stray bullet, going to school or going to lunch or going to dinner or hanging out, going out to the nightclub or just doing regular stuff or stopping at the gas station?
There's no respect.
Laws? There's no respect for this.
No respect for laws? We don't have respect for laws? You know you're about to say there's no respect for CEOs.
Manner of people who are lionizing this person or fetishizing him sexually or so on and so forth.
Oh, God, did I lost it. I don't know how you did that to yourself, Scott. What were you drinking? You sounded like Kamala Harris up here. You sounded like every goofy liberal that ever walked up on the MSNBC platform and started talking. You sound like AOC right now. CNN did a segment talking about Bill Burr and this guy, I think it's Corvese, one of Bill Burr's friends, talking about Luigi Mangione, talking about the New York CEO shooter.
I was going to read an article, guy. They go, "Oh my God, he's such a great guy. He had a wife and kids, and he's such a great guy." And then you find out he and the other guys he's working for are getting sued for $121 million for dumping a stock and not letting the other people know. It's like, there's your motive. What is more heartless than a CEO of a corporation? The decision in healthcare, the decisions that they make. This is the thing. I'm not saying what happened should have happened, but I'm just, for them to be like, "Oh, this is like, why would anybody want to do this?" It's like, they're denying claims and people are dying.
So this is very common kind of armchair analysis. John, your eyebrow is like up to here. I mean, you can't tell me you haven't heard something like this in the last couple of days.
No, look, I mean, there's plenty of anger and frustration in insurance companies, but do not lionize murderers or elevate psychotic screeds into a manifesto.
Do not lionize murderers or elevate manifesto. Let's do back to the lionize. Because I want to make sure, I went to public school systems. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to make sure I understand what lionize means. Give a lot of public attention and approval. Treat as a celebrity. All right, this prick's going to sit up here and complain and say that we're treating a notorious killer. Guy killed somebody in the middle of the day in New York City, and it's on tape. And this goofball is up here complaining, saying, don't give him publicity. Don't make him a celebrity. But I bet you make you a celebrity, huh? Isn't that how you want it there, Sugar Toots? Isn't that what you want there, John Avlon, senior political analyst, CNN asshole? Isn't that what you want, Mr. I just want to, you're just here to do what exactly? Why are you on TV? You want us to lionize you, pay attention to you? What have you done that's interesting? This guy just shot the CEO of UnitedHealth, the biggest health organization in the world. We don't know of many other worlds, okay? The biggest one. He shoots him in the middle of the street. And you're saying, we need to stop lionizing this guy. This is just a dumbass take from a guy who has nothing to say, who's reading from a script, a playbook of things that we need to say about this. And what's hilarious about it is you can see that these guys are all defending the corporations. They're just scrambling to defend. And if they would just shut the hell up about it, it would go away. But it won't go away, because while you're saying don't talk about it, what are you doing, John? You're talking about it. So this is a dumbass idea. It's a dumb talking point. He's going to repeat that same talking point throughout this whole thing about how you should not lionize the killer guy. But we're going to report on it anyway. And we're going to keep reporting on it ad nauseum until something else comes that'll knock it out the news cycle. He's not going to get up and leave from his shit job, though. No, he's not going to do that. But what he is going to do is talk down to people talking about it. Let's keep going.
This is insane. Don't make a folk hero out of this cat. He assassinated a CEO going to a thing, and you got a problem?
Why does it matter he was a CEO? We don't give a damn what his job title is. See, this is what it is, folks. Here it is right here. People get shot every day, John. Why you say it like being a CEO is special? Ain't nothing but a damn job. He didn't start UnitedHealthcare. He's just a worker who worked his way up by doing God knows what, okay? He didn't build this, I'm a CEO. I'm a CEO of a very small company, my own company that I started, that's an employee of one, basically. Mrs. Black helps when she can. So it's that CEO, because CEO don't mean nothing. It's a lot of solo operators who are CEOs trying to avoid a bunch of tax liabilities, hoping if they get sued, they can still live indoors. It's a lot of reasons why you would incorporate a company. Get off the sole proprietorship train. Getting screwed by Uncle Sam. No kiss, no love, no flowers, no cards on your birthday, just getting screwed by Uncle Sam. So yeah. But why all the angst over the fact this guy is a CEO? Who gives a shit who he was? CEOs aren't special. In fact, if they are special, they're notorious. The ones we're talking about in this story. But this guy, John, and other people on this panel are going to operate within this mind space and no, this was a bad thing because this was a CEO. Meanwhile, how many other people were shot down? You know, how many people were shot down for less reasons? How many people were shot down minding their own damn business? How many people were shot, caught a stray bullet, going to school or going to lunch or going to dinner or hanging out, going out to the nightclub or just doing regular stuff or stopping at the gas station? Huh, John? You know, that could be what you're talking about, but you're not talking about it, right? You're not talking about it. Why? Because they weren't the CEO of UnitedHealth. So let's temper the whole thing around that. And let's call it what it is. You guys are star hustling off the guy's reputation, off of his big name, of having a big salary. But where'd that money come from? Where'd that stardom come from? How did he get that job? What did that job entail? What did he have to do to get that job, that $10 million a year? What did he do? It matters. But they don't want to talk about what he did to get the money. Instead, all they want to do is demonize people who may feel like, who gives a shit? Or we're supposed to all cry in our cornflakes in the morning. We're supposed to wake up and cry in our oatmeal over somebody we don't know who had a job that was very controversial that took people's time away from their families, i.e. their lives. Now, just because it's legal, just because it's a practice that is accepted in our society, don't make that shit morally right. Now, if Luigi Mangione is convicted of doing this, he's not morally right either. But guess what? If he did it, he's not morally right. But neither are the practices of our insurance companies that put a price tags on people's value of life. If they should have a shot at an operation or a procedure that could save their lives. You understand what I'm saying? So just because that's legal doesn't make that moral or ethical. I say stop putting CEOs, stop putting corporate assholes on some totem pole or hierarchy as if they're better than the average person who may have been shot down on the same day. We know in America, hundreds of people die every day. Why aren't you talking about some of them? All right, back to this.
Murderers or elevate psychotic screeds into a manifesto. This is insane. Don't make a folk hero out of this cat. He assassinated a CEO going to a thing. And you got a problem with the way insurance companies do business. There are a lot of righteous ways to handle it within the legal structure.
And I want
Listen to this asshole talking about there's a lot of righteous ways to handle it. No, dummy, that's part of the problem. This guy I just read he was like a House of Representatives. This guy is a former U.S. congressional candidate. Oh, he's a candidate. No wonder why he fucking lost. Hey, man, how about some straight talk? Part of the problem we have with our system, John, it's lopsided. It favors the rich and powerful. Doesn't favor the average citizen. That's the problem. So if we could remedy our insurance system, right, and we can make it so that corporations, insurance companies would prioritize the lives of the people that paid into the system. We're not even talking about people that don't have insurance. Right now, we're talking about the people that do have insurance, John. They do have it. And if you have the insurance, it shouldn't be dropped. And you shouldn't be told no about procedures that could save your life. And what are these mechanisms that are built in that can handle it? These mechanisms that are already there that could use. What are those? Sounds like they didn't work so good for some of us. I mean, we've all heard the horror story. This is not a new thing. You know, Luigi Mangione, God bless him, man. Whatever happens, whatever the outcome of this case is, there has been light shed on a problem. And any light shed on the problem, we'll take it and we'll say, good. We're glad light was shed on the problem. It's a shame that the light had to be shed by blood being shed. That's the only way to get the light is the blood. That's the only time you guys will report on anything is if it's tied to a corporation, right? Or if it's tied to money or you can make money on it. That's it, that's all. You wouldn't be covering on a normal day. CNN would not be covering the amount of people that are denied coverage. That would not be a story that you guys would run because one of your major advertisers all the corporations and the UnitedHealthcare and those other insurance companies. One of your primary beneficiaries of your advertising, the chips in your advertising revenue for CNN, not just CNN, MSNBC, all the corporations. You have invested your company that you're shilling for, or that you're working for that has you there, that's allowing you to be in front of us and be lionized. You are compromised because you benefit from those same dollars coming from those insurance companies. And you would not talk about the problem that exists about people being denied coverage, save for bloodshed. So in fact, I fought you is almost as much as Luigi Mangione, because if it wasn't for hacks in the high corporate media never focusing on real bread and butter issues, no one would have to resort to this. I would submit it's highly possible, because I don't know exactly what the motivations are. We haven't gotten that yet. But I'm saying, if this had been a regular conversation, something that was addressed by corporate media, them doing their damn jobs, then perhaps it's possible that we wouldn't be sitting here talking about the death or the murder of Brian Thompson, would we? Because this issue would be addressed and there would be no need, I would like to think, for this type of escalation of violence in order to get attention on an issue that deserves our attention. All right, let's go. I heard 34% of these, they denied 34% of the coverages that were requested.
The problem with the way insurance companies do business, there are a lot of righteous ways to handle it within the legal structure.
And I want
but I
anyone
think
else
we're playing a little bit footsie with elevating this cat, and he doesn't deserve it.
Do you think he's not being elevated by any particular thing. It's like the general internet. There's no one voice you can point to saying you're the one who's turned him into a hero.
I mean, there's plenty of voices. You can go on the internet right now and find all manner of people who are lionizing this person or fetishizing him sexually or so on and so forth.
Oh, God, didn't lost it. Just when I give a guy props, gave you props like a week ago, I said, well, you know, it's a good thing that to have a Scott Jennings trying to keep him honest on CNN, trying to keep the fools from running down the hill with the butter knives, waving them about, poking at us. Here you go. Look at him, like he totally resting bitch face, talking about, oh, they're lionizing. Your skirt is showing there, Scott. You're showing who you really are, or who you are willing to be in order to get the monies. You know who your boss is, don't you, Scott? Yeah, you do. Corporations. Who's the honest actor between you and I, Scott? I am, because I call out corporations and I'll call out the Democrats. Okay, Democrats, corporate power structure, them too, but Republicans are the king of the corporations. They the main, they call Democrats out of Dougie. All right. This is disappointing.
Lionizing this person or fetishizing him sexually or so on and so forth.
But I mean, mainstream media, like, I don't think the mainstream media is doing erotic fan fiction of this guy. Like, that is the thing that's happening.
Somebody who was trusted by the mainstream media just as soon as a few months ago, Taylor Lorenz was out there saying she felt joy when she heard about this. I mean, I agree with John.
Corporate media. Gives a shit about corporate media.
I think there's a culture in the United States right now that just doesn't, there's no respect for
there's no respect.
Laws. There's no respect for
no respect for laws. We don't have respect for laws. You know you're about to say there's no respect for CEOs. I caught you there, Scott. See, here's the thing. This is what's funny. There are people that are conservatives, and they love to run this guy's name everywhere, and they like to big him up. They love this guy. Some people, like that DeVore guy, and like it's all the conservatives like really behind Scott Jennings. And what we had in common is this our disgust for the Democratic Party. But no. When it's time for me to call you out, I'm gonna do that too. They will not admit that they are a bunch of corporate butt-kissing folks. And that's where their allegiance really lies. They're not going to be honest about this. They're not going to break with Scott and say, Scott, because at the end of the day, they're just as disappointing as the Democrats who kiss ass, who fell in line for Kamala. They're going to fall in line for them corporations the same exact way. And they're falling in line, and they're going to take their cue from Scott, and they're going to act like there's never a reason to tell a corporation to shove it up their ass. But they had no problem doing that when it was Coors. When Coors went woke. Yeah, see, the conservatives will boycott Coors for giving a TikTok person a can that they can use in their house. Yeah, give them a picture of them on the can or a case of beer from their home. It wasn't even sold in stores. And Kid Rock had to go shoot the cans up. Remember this? Kid Rock had to shoot the cans. Make a big stand. Yeah, not on my watch, not on my course. Why can't you take a stand like that when it comes to healthcare companies denying coverage for you and your brothers and your sisters and your cousins and your neighbors? Fellow Americans. Patriots. What happened to the patriotism? What happened to we gonna stand and the solid as oak? What happened to all of that talk? Huh? All of a sudden, cat got your tongue. Can't talk so well. Got up there furrowing his brow. Sympathetic thing. That's why I say, man, be careful who you trust and never trust any of these characters too much. Okay? Too much.
No respect for life. There's no respect for our cultural norms, and people believe.
What are you even talking about, Scott? Scott, you're sounding like you're grasping at straws to make some shit up. He's just grabbing at anything. Scott, you are lost right now, man. Where are you? I don't even know where you are right now, Scott. Where are you, Scott? I can't even see you. You've disappeared. Scott is gone. He's in the darkness in the wilderness somewhere. He's turned into world salad. Scott Jennings. What happened, man? Damn it, dude. You're not making much sense. We done lost our touch of our culture. We don't care about the rule of law. What part of denying people's claims do you not understand? Are you that? Yeah, I guess you are. I'm telling you guys, one thing that's hilarious is watching people who get paid for a living, who make a living out of denying reality, and then a story like this comes up and they can't hide anywhere. And that's the beautiful thing about the media business, man, because you never know what's going to happen. And now these guys have got caught, they're exposed, and Scott looks like this. Oh! I don't know how the camel ended up in the car. But Scott looks like a camel caught in a sedan with a sunroof. Yo! I didn't know how this happens. Somebody come get Scott out the goddamn car. I don't know how you did that to yourself, Scott. What were you drinking? You sounded like Kamala Harris up here. You sounded like every goofy liberal that ever walked up on the MSNBC platform and started talking. You sound like AOC right now. You're AOCing it up here, baby. That's how you say, you don't respect the rule of law. We're a country of rules and laws and checks and balances. We gotta sacrifice life. Sacrifice life. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be a good time, man. Oh, it's gonna be good. It's beautiful being me, because I get to tell the truth, Scott. You have to lie. You have to lie. So yeah, they're gonna run. Let's see some more. They're gonna do some more running around here, guys.
They should be able to take matters into their own hands. It's pretty ugly.
I think it works on always.
Yeah, oh, but Daniel Penny. Unless you're Daniel Penny, you know, this guy's got the audacity. He was just 2 seconds ago, he was just claiming how great Daniel Penny was for taking the law in his own hands. And now, all of a sudden, he's like, don't ever take the law into your own hands. This is a breakdown of the moral fabric of America. We're losing the bearings. Everyone's going crazy. We gotta someone help us, Jane. Stop this crazy thing. Face.
I think it works on both sides. I think it works in this country in general. You said before we even got into this conversation, the internet is consistent. It's consistent with people who have things to say but really have nothing to say.
Listen to this moron. She said the internet is consistent of having people with something to say but nothing to say. You know what I've noticed, Cari? I've noticed a preponderance of CNN contributors such as yourself having a platform on CNN and not having anything to say. Being about as interesting as linoleum. Yeah. Linoleum, beige carpeting, beige walls, off beige, even. Yeah, and then pretending like that makes them somehow studious and having caps on their teeth and having their hair done and sitting in the chair for the makeup and coming out and not saying a goddamn thing that's interesting. And then it's making strong statements, bold statements, without anything to back them up. Like you just did. You said the people have something to say, but nothing to say. That would basically surmise your entire career, wouldn't it? I think that'd be a good primer on exactly what that's your get down, sister.
And their opinions really don't matter.
Listen to this. She said their opinions really don't matter. You know, when you don't have anything to say, I understand how it is. You know, sometimes when the panel goes around, it gets to you quick and you don't have shit to say. So it's good to go after the people that aren't there because that's pretty good. That's when you do it. Or maybe you're just still butthurt about all the people that roasted you from the last time you were on this panel. You said a lot of dumb shit, and you actually started looking, you listened, and then you read the comments. And look, that's a rookie mistake for you, okay? Because the shit you were talking last time you were on this show, couple that with now, not a good look, sister. But to say that the people are dumb and they should not be talking and they have nothing to say, and then you come in, you have nothing to say. Let's see if you say anything of substance that's important. Let's hear her out. I don't think she will. But why not give her a shot anyway? I mean, she isn't someone at home. She's on CNN. So obviously, she has more to say.
I think something's really interesting about, not even interesting. Did anybody see that movie, The Rainmaker? Did you guys ever see that movie back in?
She's like darting all these places. You're darting all over the place. Woo! You know, I guess if you just go to speech class, you learn how to talk in these type of tones that are kind of inviting, where you can kind of use your bottom register of your voice, and you sound like maybe you have some like command of the English language. And maybe if you bounce around different topics, people won't notice that you haven't said shit. You've been talking for about 45 seconds. You haven't made a point that's relevant, and you bounce from topic to topic. This is your fourth topic, your fourth point of things that are kind of random. And three of them, you were shitting on other people that aren't even there and weren't even the shooter or the corporate or the insurance industry. So I don't even know who you're talking to right now. But that's how good it is to be Cari Champion, to be a CNN contributor. You get paid to come talk on a panel about an insurance CEO of UnitedHealthcare being gunned down, about the killer being in custody, about people being upset with the insurance company to the point where they overlook the killer, where they're even more angry with the killer of the CEO and the practices of his company. As if that's crazy. If you had a corporation that was poisoning people, taking people's lives, and if somebody decided, you know what, I'm going to do something about that, you would not be that surprised. But since it's insurance companies, you're like, oh, how dare this happen?
The day, 1997.
These sort of hero lawyer dramas.
John Grisham. And it was not necessarily similar to this, but the lawyer was Matt Damon, and he was suing a big insurance company.
It's not necessarily, it's not, she brings up a movie and then says the movie is not necessarily similar to this. Then why the fuck are you bringing it up? Who brings up a movie? We're talking about one thing. We're talking about Luigi Mangione. We're talking about the killing of Brian Thompson. We're talking about that impact and this phenomenon that's sweeping, and how you guys are not addressing the elephant in the room, which is people really hate insurance companies. Instead of dealing with why people hate them, you like ran around shitting on people, talking on the internet about not liking them. And then you stopped at a couple different places. Now you bring up a movie. Who the hell brings up a movie and then they say the movie doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I'm going to bring up this movie that's not really similar, but kind of similar? Like, what are you talking about? And you started all this by saying people on the internet don't know what they're talking about. Sister, you don't know what the hell you are talking about. I think you were speaking about yourself. Projecting.
Because they kept denying a claim. And in this particular case, the young kid died and he had cancer, but his mom kept trying to fight the big insurance.
Man, just cut her fucking mic, man. Cut her mic. You could have saved us a lot of time, just went to John Q. How come you just could go to John Q? You didn't want to get a brother a little bit of praise, huh? Had to go to this Grisham shit from the 90s. Why you didn't go to John Q? That was the late 90s, wasn't it? 2002 or something? You should have went there. That was a better articulation of the thing. I mean, since you say it's that similar, goofball.
Insurance company, and they won in the end. And I heard you earlier today say, just a moment ago, say,
what a wasted segment. People are sitting there looking at her like, what the hell is her problem? They're just letting her run off the clock on this, aren't they? This is just let her say whatever diarrhea breath has to say. Let her keep going.
Ways to go about this. For people who feel frustrated, and
she's still talking. She is still talking. Now she's all the way around, and now she's going to end on a note of saying, but you know, people have a right to be upset.
Not excusing Luigi at all, but I don't know if anyone feels like there are any legal ways to go about it. And I'm still unclear on what his actual motive is. He comes from this wealthy family. He had a back issue. We're hearing all of these different issues. And I'm like, what was he really trying to do and say? Not that we need to try to understand.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I try to be a professional here, you know, and address what's being spoken, but it's difficult when she didn't know what the hell she's talking about. And look, I was offended that she said, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I felt a certain kind of way about you saying people on the internet don't have a right to talk about shit. They should shut up, you know, basically let you talk about it, then you not really talk about a goddamn thing. You know, it's just, I don't know. Anybody else?
You know, what was really the motive behind this? Sometimes it's just but they're not solved by people writing manifestos, using a gun to murder a private citizen.
People get murdered all the time. Hey, man, these guys are exposing themselves. We're in a society where murder happens all the time. I'm not saying murder is right. I don't approve of murder. I'm not out here trying to murder anyone, right? That's not, I'm against murdering people. But that doesn't change that, you know, if you piss people off enough, somebody might get hurt. Basically, where people feel like when their backs are against the wall, when they're looking at this situation and they're thinking about maybe they know someone or maybe themselves have been denied, whatever, they've lost a loved one, that bitterness of that. And once again, guys, remember, insurance ain't free. We already pay more than any other country for it. And then to get denied when you need it? We're getting robbed by the amount we have to pay. And then when we need it, they say, fuck you. And these morons sit around. So now there's nothing wrong at all with us calling this out. But to try to make it seem like we're making this guy a celebrity. No, he is a star killer at the moment. Because that's what happens with every killer. For a moment, it's news. Until something else comes up. Why aren't you guys doing long stories about Brian Thompson? Because it'll eventually get back to the fact that Brian Thompson's job, because he wasn't capped, and I don't really know exactly why. No one knows exactly why. But most of us, I would say, in my opinion, I don't think it had anything to do with what kind of dad he was or what kind of husband he was. It had to do about his job. So if you started to focus on Brian Thompson's life, started doing a biography on that to shift the focus onto the victim, you would inevitably get to all the other victims of Brian Thompson. And that's really what the conversation, why you guys are uncomfortable with the conversation. That's why Scott fell on his knife tonight. Here, doing this, whatever this was, this AOC-ish, whatever that was. It's not good. Because there was nowhere to go.